यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः. My best wishes and Paripurna Ashirvadams. May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, wealth, health and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and your entire family members. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, 27th verse of 4th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sarvani Indriya Karmani प्राणकर्माणि चापरे आत्मसंयम योगाग्नौ जुह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते. Bhagavan Krishna began to unfold 12 kinds of yajna from the verse number 24. In the beginning, he introduced Brahmajnana yajna. So that was the first yajna. The second one was the fire ritual, which is called Deva yajna. Now, in general, why should we discuss these 12 kinds of yajnas? Why should I get to know? The question may arise in all of us. Because the people, the normal people, there are two kinds of people, believers and non-believers, atheist and non-atheist. So these two people, some of them, they don't accept a ritualistic part of the karma. But they like the spiritual growth, inner growth, and they also believe the spiritual aspects also can be gained by karma or meditation or bhakti, different variations. So it's confusing us, especially for the past 50 years, that things have become chaos. Though we were practicing for the thousands of years all the practice which are in the form of discipline, we were not confused. But after the freedom, so let me be clear, after the freedom, when we get the freedom must be utilized in proper way. That freedom should not be abused by practicing individual space, by invading the philosophies and the norms of Sanatana Dharma. So that's the reason we have to understand first, because lots of confusion. That confusion still is on. Therefore, we have to get to know all these things are nothing but the branches of our Sanatana Dharma. Vedanta accepts everything. Vedanta never denies any practice which is in the form of sadhana for inner growth. Now, human being gets complete when you grow from inside. Outside you can grow, you can develop your business, you can develop your contacts, you can develop your name and fame, you can spread your all glory to the world like Alexander and even Ashoka Chakravarti, Samrat Ashoka. But if you are lacking of inner growth, that life is completely vain. The only dharma which is known as Sanatana Dharma, it emphasizes from the beginning itself. You have to be careful with your mind and your work and with your goal and all. Therefore, Krishna is discussing now we have to be focused enough to realize once you come to know about these 12 kinds of yajnas, definitely I'm sure you will get rid of all the doubts regarding the spiritual aspects. Because various people, certain people they don't like fire rituals, certain people they don't like yoga, certain people they don't like to meditate, certain people they doesn't like that to have the bhajan without any emotions. So these kind of variations, how can we segregate? How can understand? Is it all of them are connected, or is there any separate path? All of them are different path. That's what we have to know that. Bhagavan Krishna said that supreme method is to gain knowledge. Through knowledge you can be liberated. That's what Brahmatma Yajna, Brahma Jnana Yajna. Brahma Jnana Yajna means that is the supermost supreme Yajna. So if you go for that, definitely you will get the completeness. And what about all other yajnas? All other yajnas are subsidiary yajnas by which you can prepare yourself, you can become mature enough to conceive the knowledge and to assimilate the knowledge. The first was Brahmajnana Yajna. You need not to have any fire, you need to have only you, not even the world. It's very difficult, therefore we can come a little bit down. Deva Yajna. Deva Yajna means what? As it was introduced in the 3rd chapter, the transaction between human being and celestial being. The human beings are lacking for something. If they are lacking for children, if they are lacking for wealth, if they are lacking for health, they can get it done certain rituals so that those rituals can improve themselves. Through those rituals, they can also get spiritual growth. That spiritual growth will help to consume the knowledge. Then 3rd and 4th, which we saw in the verse number 26, that is from Patanjali side. Patanjali side means it is Ashtanga Yoga side. And also the next one also becomes under the Patanjali method of spiritual discipline. He says this body must be nourished and this body must be prepared for Samadhi. Samadhi means spiritual growth. This Samadhi is the final state as the Patanjali's message. He says that Samadhi is where you can completely become bliss enough. No dukkha, no sorrow, no any problem. That's what his motto. This Patanjali was followed by so many varieties of groups. Now these 3 groups have been divided. Therefore, it is known as Indriya Samyama Yajna, number 1, Vishaya Grahana Yajna, number 2, Atma Samyama Yajna, number 3. So these 3 things are together to be done, but it has been practicing for a long time. They have separated. Now when I wanted to have the spiritual growth in the beginning days, 30 years before, somebody told you go and join in Buddhist monastery. I went near Kashi. You know, there was a monastery which situated between Gaya and Kashi. And when I reached there, I let them know I wanted to become a monk. I need to have the spiritual growth. Then I was interviewed by the supreme monk. Then I was accepted. The first day they asked me to shave the head. I had to, because to cut the attention of our face. You might have seen the people always with the comb. Wherever they get the mirror, they started combing, distracting themselves. It was removed. So nice. The next day I got up as a free person, because when you have hair, you have to wash it, you have to dry it, it will take time. So nothing. So within 10 minutes you can finish the bath and you are completely free person, free air. So it was fantastic. The day began. I was taken to a place where it was like a cave, I was asked to sit inside. There was the hollow, only one person can sit inside. Then they asked me to sit there without any movement. I thought, okay, it's not a big deal. When I tried, my God, it was a challenging job for me. When I moved the limb, I was hit. One person was standing there with a stick. When I became conscious enough, I a little bit practiced for half an hour. So I could able to be without movement. Because the movement of karmendriyas, it will lead to the movement of psychological aspects. Jnanendriya. And when Jnanendriya is moving, Jnanendriya means your eyes. When you look at something, you will get the thought, then you wanted to move your limbs, Therefore, you have to remove, you have to restrain your focus from outside. They ask first to stop the movement, okay? Then they ask me to concentrate on the head. Okay, not the big deal. I started doing, and one monk brought ever silver bowl, a small bowl. He kept on my head, so the head was completely shaved. It was slippery. The cup came 2-3 times down. He said, strictly, he said, the cup should not come down. That's in your part. And I started practicing. My God. So after half an hour, I became expert in that. He brought oil. He poured the oil. Now I should not miss even one time. If I move a little bit, I will be done oil abhisheka. I did it, but body was disturbing a lot. My energy level was pushing me to move, to run away, but I didn't do anything. The day one gone. My God, I was not able to sleep at all because my every cell have become awakened. Because body leads, it leads towards outside. It needs some attractive things. It need to be attracted, and it should go towards the Vishayas. When you stop, you get disease. I was not able to eat. I was not able to sleep. The next day, the same practice. Okay, done. The third day, they brought a glass bowl. In that, they had the wick and they put it on my head. The glass bowl, if it comes, what will happen? It will be broken. So that I become more conscious. After that, the monk lit the lamp. My God, now I had the lamp on my head. That's the challenge. So I become very firm. I was practicing like anything, I was accumulating all the energy from the birth, whatever that I had the patience. So half an hour, then I was not able to move. When they asked me to move, the body becomes stiff. So this is how they practice. Your attention always goes towards outside. That is the nature of the mind, that's the nature of the indriyas, that's the nature of our limbs. Because the flow of their energy, like the river which comes from the mountain. When it flows from the mountain towards down, how fast it is. Like indriyas goes towards the death and birth circle. The cycling, it always pulls you. If you want to get growth of spirituality, you should restrain yourself. That's what their theory is. But the first one, Indriya Samyama Yajna, means to stop your Indriya. For example, your hearing capacity always connected with the sound. Now you have to withdraw your hearing capacity from the sound. How it would be possible? They ring the bell. You just take a bell or om sound, just sit, you start doing that mantra, om, om, om. But you should not chant some recording or some bell sound. So when sound generated, when sound arises, your hearing capacity experienced by you. So then you have to experience that your hearing capacity, you have to focus, you have to be settled with your ear, that listening capacity, not on the sound. Though it is connected, but if you focus on your hearing capacity, you can withdraw your attention from the sound. It means the bridge is broken. That is what known as Indriya Nigraha or Samyama Yajna, which we saw the last class. Then the next one is, once you become thorough with it and once you become expert with that, automatically whenever you want, you can withdraw. You can withdraw your hearing capacity, your seeing capacity, smelling capacity, tasting capacity, and touching sense also. You can control yourself, so that what the prayojana we will get is we will save our energy, because body generates its own energy. The energy must be saved. Those energy will help you to get more clarity, more energetic, more understanding capacity, and you can analyze more. Then they start the next one, Vishaya Grahana Yajna. Vishaya Grahana Yajna means once you are able to become mastery over your all jnanendriyas, now you can focus. Like when the sunlight is concentrated through a glass, it can fire material. So that the concentrated, that was which was focused, like you can focus on anything, any subject. If you focus on any subject, you will gain the truth behind it. For example, if you are focusing one sound, you can gain the biodata of the sound, the reality of the sound. For example, if you want to know a person's sound, if you contemplate on the person's voice, you can also come to know what he speaks after being 1,000 kilometers away from you. That is a headache, but people used to have, yogis used to practice. We are limited, our sensory organs are limited. When you see the rose, you can see only rose, but you cannot say what the base, what the cause of the rose. But this person can just penetrate into the object to see who brought the rose and where the rose was cultivated. So those details can be penetrated, and that penetration, it should not be the normal material. You should select the mantra. If you select the mantra, if you focus on that sound, that mantra has got deep meaning. With that, you can penetrate to that meaning. You can also get connected with that meaning. So that yogis, they had this kind of practice. It was introduced in the 26th verse. Now Atma Samyama Yoga, which is said in the 27th verse. This Atma Samyama Yoga is nothing but Dharana, Dhyanam, Samadhi. That's all. When you are well versed, when you are able to control your sensory organs called Damaha, when you are able to penetrate really towards the worldly object, you will come to know what world is. I mean the cause of the world, the reality of the world. You can become thorough with it. We struggle because we are off knowledge people. We cannot understand completely about us. We cannot understand completely about the world. We hang in between. These yogis, they can penetrate everything. If you go in front of them, so he can analyze how you are suffering. So what the cause you are suffering, they can just say that. We can also become thorough if we practice like this, but we need to have the guru. This Atma Samyama Yoga, this is, once you become thorough, then you can focus on yourself. Yourself means what? On your mind. First you can focus on your mind, because everything is in the vritti form. That's what Patanjali's teaching is. It's very important. Whether your experiences, all the incidents, all the knowledge which is understood, they are converted as the vritti. Vritti means thought. Your father who experienced in the form of thought in your mind and buddhi. Your all relatives who are experienced in the form of thought in your mind and buddhi. The taste, etc., all the enjoyments which is experienced in the form of the thought in your mind. The Patanjali is a very dangerous person, He could penetrate in you. He says, You experience yourself in the form of thought. As a vritti, atma vritti, and worldly vritti. For you, Jagat is nothing but vritti. Mango vritti, jackfruit vritti, and banana vritti, bike vritti, car vritti, home vritti, wife, husband vritti, parents, children, siblings vritti. You are nothing but in the form of vritti. My God, it's a great invention. When you think about your father is not there. Are you experiencing your father? Are you experiencing in front of you? You are not experiencing through your eyes. And he is not talking from near. He is not in front of you. He was there long back. It means he has passed away. Now he exists in the form of thought. When he was alive, that time also he was existing in the form of thought. When you see a person, you convert in the form of thought. Therefore, the thought about the self, thought about the materials, everything is accumulated in the mind. You live with the thoughts, not with the people. You eat the thoughts, you digest the thought. That's what the life is. Now you are going to deal with the thought about others, thought about yourself, the thought about your experience. That's what known as Atma Samyama Agni. Atma Samyama Yoga Agni. Atma Samyama means you are focusing on yourself and all the thoughts are offered in you. How can thought can be offered? Because when your mind is going away, it means you are getting a thought. So that thought must be brought and offered in your thought. You have to focus on yourself. You should not allow the mind to travel through indriyas. Just you have to be with your consciousness. You can do it. You go into that exhibition and look all the objects around you. Certain object, it attracts you. Once it attracts, you are taken away. In the same way, sit in a place and think about yourself. Just you be endowed with you. It is not possible, because when thought comes, you are carried away. Then you have to practice. You should not wait for any thought. You should not carried away by any thought. You have to be with you. That is the practice. It's called Atma Samyama Yoga. So when I practice like this, all the thoughts are offered in my self-thought. Means Anatma Vritti is done, offered in the Atma Vritti. The thought of other object offered in the thought of the self. Then what will happen? I become the complete person, called absorption in English. Otherwise we call it Samadhi in Sanskrit. That is the method people become spiritual. That is the method people practice as the Ashtanga Yoga. Then it is known as Atma Samyama Yoga. Now we have seen what? Brahmajnana Yajna. Then Daiva Yajna. The third one was Indriya Samyama Yajna, Vishaya Grahana Yajna, Atma Samyama Yajna. So these 5 yajnas we have completed. We will go to next verse. Let us read it. Dravya yajnastapo yajnaha yoga yajnastatha pare swadhyaya jnana yajnascha yatayas samshitavrataha. He brings various practice of spiritual sadhana. Dravya yajna. Dravyas means materials. Human being should have the materials. We need to have the materials. Otherwise we cannot survive. We need to have lots of materials. House is the material. Dravya means everything is dravya. Whatever the material is used by you, everything is not even, the relatives are also called materials. Dravyas. One person I remember, now he has become a big businessman. He came to me 15 years ago when I was in Rishikesh. We had lots of discussion. At that time he said, I have to earn lots of money. And I said, for what? I want to give it to the world. I want to serve the world. I want to help the people. And I said, why you want to help the people? That pressure also you have to question. Why should I help to the people? I should help to me. Why should I help the people? Because it is prized. Doing service to the nation, to the humanity is prized. It's a glorified one. But you have to serve the world. At the same time, you should also grow from inside. So both has to be parallel. Otherwise what? When you serve the world, so all people won't reply, means react in positive way. So when you serve, when you get name and fame, other person will be jealous and he will do something wrong with you, and the problem will begin. You will be endowed with what? The sad and sorrow things. You have to be careful from the beginning itself. I told him, you be careful from the beginning. You should have the spiritual practice. At the same time, you can also serve the humanity. You be clear, be with clarity, you can run your show. And after that, I didn't meet him for a long time. Recently, 2 years back, when I met him, he has become a big person. He has his own factory, yarn mill, and giving work to 3,000 people. It's a great thing. And also every Purnima day he offers food for 1,000 people, Annadana. Once in a year he gives saris, dhotis for thousands of people. And also he is donating lots of things to the temple. So this is what Dravya Yajna. He wanted to earn lots of materials and he wants to give to the world. He is fond of bringing new material, and the last time I heard that he gave laptop to all the students. So Dravya Yajna, he is endowed with worldly material, and certain people they want to give donation to the ashrams, so dharma karya. There's no purpose at all. Something from the childhood, I suppose his mom died without money, because the lack of money he was not able to protect her mom, because she was affected by some disease. He was not having enough money. He tried for all the way, but he was not able to get money. That was the inspiration. That incident changed him. I have to provide. Yes, he is also running 3 hospitals. He has become big Yajnakarta. He is doing Yajna alone. And also he doesn't have the family. I asked him, I suggested him, you could have your family. Then he said, I don't know, Swamiji, my son, my wife will be having same mentality, same thought pattern. We cannot expect. Therefore, till I am there, I am working now. He is also practicing meditation and also pursuing studies. So he is Yajnakarta alone. He is doing Yajna alone. This is known as Dravya Yajna. So many people you can see. Not having, he lives like a sannyasi. I went to his room. His room was simple material. He was not bringing, Belgium glass and cards, and simply he walks, and wherever the short times he has the car, but he is not depending on those materials. He is not becoming slave on those materials. That's what Yajna is. Then the Tapo Yajna. So this Tapo Yajna practiced in various levels. Some of them are not speaking for many years, tapas. Some of them are, physically in Haridwar, one person, one Baba, he is always keeping hand like this. Not for a day, not for a month, for years. During sleep also he is sleeping that way. And one person from morning 6 to evening 6 comes to Ganges, means the river Ganges, Ganga. The bank of the river he stands and he lifts right leg, he stands with the left leg for 12 hours. No compromise. Tapas. And we could see these tapas are meaningless. Of course it's meaningless. This is what from the normal people, what is the use in it? No, they are also considered tapas. They are heating themselves up and they are utilizing their energy. They are offering something. And so many people, I have seen one Acharya, he gives class. So morning 2 classes, after that morning 2 classes means 6 to 7, 7 to 8. And after that he has the Bhiksha, then he started walking to the Nilkant. Nilkant is I think 32 kilometers far from Rishikesh. If you climb the mountain, I think it becomes 12 kilometers, I suppose. Every day he climbs the mountain. On the way there is some Bel Patra, Vilva. He gets them and he reaches Nilkant exactly 11:30, 11:45. He offers the flower to the deity and he comes back. So not expecting anything out of it. Just he is keep on doing. This is known as a tapas. There are so many other tapas we will see in the next session. These are done as the activity, spiritual activity. The purpose of them is what? So they may have the purpose, they may not have the purpose. They are considered yajnas. They are nourished. Something is given to them. When you offer something, you can gain something. You will gain something. When you give something, you will definitely gain something. But if you give with a proper attitude, you will be given multiplied way. That's what the secret is. We will continue because Krishna is bringing this topic, means we have to understand, we have to be with focused mind. We will do that. See you in the next episode tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.